You've been told happiness is something to chase, something out there, waiting behind the next achievement, next relationship, or next dollar. But what if the secret to becoming truly unstoppable isn't in chasing more, but in cherishing less? That's the hidden power we're unlocking today. You see, joy is not found in what you accumulate. It's found in what you notice. The smallest things, a stranger's smile, the sun on your skin, the comfort of a warm drink. These are not trivial. These are portals to presence. And when you learn to draw joy from the little things, you stop waiting for life to get better, and you start living like it's already enough. That's when you become unstoppable. Why small joys are the secret weapon of the resilient. Let's break this down. You've had hard days. You've cried behind closed doors. You've questioned if you're good enough, smart enough, worthy enough. And in those moments, it probably felt like joy was impossible. But here's the spiritual truth most people overlook. Joy is not the absence of pain. Joy is the presence of perspective. When you find joy in a song while your world is falling apart. When you smile at a flower even after you've been rejected. When you laugh at a meme during your lowest hour. You're not being fake. You're being resilient. You're proving that life's hardship doesn't get the final say. And that's what makes you unstoppable. Not because you're untouched by pain, but because you keep choosing joy in spite of it. Joy in the small equals power in the big. Think about it. Someone who knows how to find joy in a breeze doesn't panic when the winds of life get strong. They've trained their spirit to dance in the storm. Someone who delights in the way tea smells, or how socks feel fresh out the dryer. They're not distracted by stress. They're anchored in gratitude. This person, someone who doesn't wait for joy but creates it daily. That person cannot be defeated easily. They've already made peace with the simple, and because of that, they're no longer prisoners of pressure. That's the kind of joy that's dangerous. That's the kind of joy that changes your whole life. You're already surrounded by miracles. Let me ask you a question. How many tiny miracles have you missed today? That first sip of water when you were thirsty. That stretch in the morning when your body said, "Thank you." That dog wagging its tail on the street, just happy to be alive. All of these are moments you didn't have to earn. You didn't buy them. You didn't manifest them. They just showed up, like life whispering, "I'm here if you'll notice me." We've been taught to look for big wins. But you know what's bigger? Noticing that life is already showing up for you. Joy isn't rare, attention is. If you just pay attention, you'll see joy waving at you constantly. The more you respond to it, the more it multiplies. The science of small joys. Yes, it's real. Let's pause and bring in some real-world science. Psychologists call it savoring. The ability to consciously enjoy small pleasures. Research shows that people who practice savoring daily report higher life satisfaction, cope better with stress, have stronger relationships, show more emotional resilience, are more creative and productive. Let that sink in. You don't need a new job, a new partner, or a new house to feel better. You need to practice noticing. Joy isn't just a feeling, it's a skill. And every time you smile at the smell of rain or pause to enjoy how clean your sheets feel, you're practicing that skill. You're training your brain to be resilient, creative, and calm. The opposite of joy is not sadness, it's numbness. So many people walk through life half asleep, scrolling, rushing, distracted, disconnected. Not because they're evil, but because they're overstimulated. You can have everything. and feel nothing. If you've ever been to a beautiful place and couldn't feel it, if you've ever eaten a good meal while your mind was somewhere else, if you've ever had love and couldn't receive it, you know what numbness feels like. Joy wakes you back up, not with fireworks, but with the gentle tapping of reality saying, "Come back, you're still alive, there's still beauty here." And once you feel that, you begin to reclaim your spirit. You begin to remember that life isn't supposed to be tolerated, it's meant to be savored. Joy is contagious and magnetic. When you start lighting up over the little things, people feel it. You don't even need to talk. Your energy shifts. You walk with presence. You smile differently. You carry peace into rooms. And you know what happens? People open up to you. Opportunities find you. Love grows in your life. Creativity flows naturally. God, the universe, whatever you believe, begins to align with you. Joy doesn't just help you, it becomes a gift for everyone around you. Because when you're joyful over nothing, people start to wonder, what does this person know that I don't? That's the kind of energy that can't be bought, only built moment by moment. Joy is a rebellion in a hurting world. We live in a world of fear, noise, comparison, and chaos. Everyone's trying to look like they have it all together, but most are running on empty. In that kind of world, joy is not just a cute emotion. Joy is an act of rebellion. It says, "You don't get to steal my peace." It says, "I will laugh even here." It says, "I can find light in any darkness." Joy is not naive, it's brave. And when you begin to find it in small moments, even during struggle, you become the kind of person who can't be manipulated by fear. That makes you powerful. That makes you magnetic. That makes you unstoppable. Imagine living like this. You wake up, and instead of checking your phone immediately, you take a breath. You feel your sheets. You thank your bed for holding you. You brush your teeth and actually notice the scent of mint. You look yourself in the mirror and whisper, "Thank you for waking up." You sip your tea or coffee, and instead of rushing, you taste it. You let that moment ground you. On your way to work, you put on music that lifts your soul. You nod at a stranger. You feel the breeze on your skin. That's just the first hour of your day. Now imagine living like that, every day, not in some fantasy world, not on vacation, right here, in your current life. This is what happens when you shift from chasing joy to choosing it. And that version of you, that present, grateful, anchored version, is unstoppable. Step 1. Start with stillness. You can't notice small moments if your mind is constantly racing. Many people are so consumed by what's next that they forget to experience what's now. So slow down. Start your day with silence, even if it's just 2 minutes. Sit. Breathe. Be. In stillness, the small details of life begin to speak. You start hearing the birds again. You smell the air. You feel the tension leave your body. These aren't spiritual cliches. These are real, physical effects of choosing presence. You don't need an hour. You don't need incense or a yoga mat. You just need to stop running for a moment and let your soul catch up to your body. Stillness is the gateway to awareness. Awareness is the gateway to joy. Step 2. Learn the power of micro-gratitude. Gratitude isn't just saying thank you once a day. It's about learning to notice, not just the big things, but the tiny ones. The feeling of water on your hands. The sound of a friend's laughter. The way sunlight hits the wall at 3 p.m. the fact that you're breathing without trying. Here's a secret. The more you recognize, the more joy you unlock. It's like the universe is rewarding your attention. Try this. Set a timer to go off randomly during the day. When it buzzes, pause and look around. Find one thing to be grateful for in that exact moment, no matter how small. Do that consistently, and you'll begin rewiring your entire emotional framework. Suddenly, life stops feeling like a grind. It starts feeling like a blessing. Step 3. Turn mundane into magical. Let's face it, most of life is ordinary. Laundry, dishes, emails, commuting. But here's the secret sauce. You can either resent the ordinary or romanticize it. Put on music and make cleaning your space a ritual. Light a candle while you journal. Speak a blessing over your meal before you eat. Dance while folding clothes. This isn't about being fake or pretending everything is perfect. It's about treating your life with reverence. When you do this, you start showing up differently, even in boring moments. And the beautiful twist? When you start treating the ordinary as special, life becomes special. You don't need Paris sunsets or mountaintop views. You need intention. Step 4. Talk to strangers. Laugh with life. Another key to small moment joy: connection. Not the deep, heavy kind, just human moments. Smile at the cashier. Hold the door for someone. Compliment a stranger's shoes. Send a random voice note to a friend just to say, "I'm thinking of you." These moments cost you nothing, but they restore your soul in ways you can't imagine. And while you're at it, laugh. Laugh when things go wrong. Laugh at yourself. Laugh when the universe surprises you. Because laughter in the small things doesn't mean you're dismissing life. It means you're dancing with it. People who can laugh while life is uncertain are the ones who weather the storm without losing themselves. Step 5. Accept the imperfect beauty. Perfection is a myth. Every moment you've ever lived, every sunrise, every conversation, every heartbeat, came with flaws. Some were noisy, some were messy, some were inconvenient. But that's where joy hides. Joy doesn't require conditions to be met. It requires your presence, your willingness to show up, even when things don't go as planned. So your coffee spilled. So it rained during your walk. So the call dropped mid-conversation. Can you still find beauty in it? Can you still smile? Joy is not about control. It's about surrender. Real-life example, how the small saved me. Let me tell you a true story. A man once shared that after his wife died, life felt gray. He couldn't focus, couldn't find purpose. He'd lost the love of his life and the world became meaningless. But one day, he was sitting on his porch and saw a hummingbird. He watched it hover, delicate, alive, present, and for the first time in months, he smiled. That small bird didn't change his pain, but it cut through it. It reminded him that beauty still existed, that life was still unfolding, that there was something worth staying for. And from that moment on, he made it a habit. Every day, he found one small thing to notice: a shadow on the wall, the way his chair creaked, the smell of toast, and bit by bit, color returned to his life. The hummingbird didn't fix him, but it woke him up. That's the kind of power we're talking about here. Joy is the most spiritual thing you can choose. You don't have to chant mantras or burn sage to be spiritual, although that's fine too. Sometimes being spiritual just means choosing joy on purpose. God, Spirit, the Divine, whatever name you give it, reveals itself not only in temples, but in tacos. Not just in sermons, but in sunsets. Not just in prayer, but in laughter with friends. The smallest moments are sacred. They are divine reminders that you are alive, that life is pulsing through you, and that you have access to wonder right now. Don't wait for joy to knock on your door. Be the one who opens it. Final challenge: become a joy hunter. Let's make this practical. Starting today, become a joy hunter. Hunt for the softest sound you hear each day. Hunt for the weirdest, funniest thing you see. Hunt for the most beautiful shade of light. Hunt for the kindest act, even if it's yours. Hunt for something ordinary that feels extraordinary today. Write these things down. Say them out loud. Share them. When you become a joy hunter, you stop waiting for life to hand you happiness, and you begin creating it. That's when you stop being a victim of circumstances and become the author of your energy. The world may try to convince you that small things don't matter. It will push you toward more hustle, more status, more everything. But you have a choice. You can say, number I choose to notice. I choose to delight. I choose to show up in love and presence, even in the ordinary. And when you do that, you'll laugh more. You'll breathe deeper. You'll connect better. And without even realizing it, you'll become unshakable. Not because life got easier, but because you got wiser. And that, my friend, is how joy in the smallest moments makes you unstoppable.